Hi everyone, Mrs. Kane here. For today's asynchronous assignment, I'm going to do a quick little drawing tutorial with you. First, I'm going to share my screen, and I just wanted to point out a couple things that we are going to be using as a review for today. So give me a second here and get to my slideshow. Okay, so one thing we're going to be reviewing today is what we talked about last week with space and how a picture is divided up spatially. So you have the foreground, which are the things that are closest to us. You have the middle ground, which is the things that are in the middle, and then you have the background, all the things in the back of the picture. So look where I am. I got all this stuff in the background. I'm at home today, so I got all these things in the background. I am in the foreground of this picture, and all that stuff back there, that's in the background. Okay, so this is something we're going to review today. And we're also going to review what we've been talking about since the beginning of the year, different types of shapes and lines to put this project together. So you see on the left, we have all the geometric shapes. These are the shapes that we learn about in math and we've studied in math. These can be measured out very precisely. We have triangles, rectangles, squares, circles, ovals, all of these shapes that are called geometric shapes. Then we also have these organic shapes. Organic shapes are shapes found in nature. So you often see more curved. They're not exactly precise. They're always different. You don't find two shapes that are exactly the same when they're found in nature. And then we're also going to talk about line that we've been using, again, since the beginning of the year. We have zigzag lines and wavy lines and dotted lines, and you can use any of those on today's project. What we're going to be doing is creating a winter landscape. So you are going to use a gingerbread style house. You can make it as colorful and candy-like if you want. If you want to make it more of a realistic house, you can do that. Really, the opportunity is endless for you on your end, what you would like to create. I'm just going to show you some of the basics, okay? So let me stop my share, and I'm going to change my screen over to my document camera. Okay, so what we're creating today is going to be a little gingerbread house. I want you to notice this gingerbread house is made using a lot of basic shapes that we've been studying in class. We have a square, we have a triangle, circles, we have lollipop trees that are circles. Okay, and then we have some organic shapes like our clouds. Okay, we're also using really interesting lines that we've used, and you can change them for your picture. So I have a scallop line here for the frosting that holds the gingerbread house together. And I have a wavy line here for my horizon line. In this picture, the walkway and the candies leading up to the house are in the foreground, the front of the picture. The snowman and the gingerbread house are in the middle ground. And the clouds and the lollipops, you can see them right here on the horizon, and the sky are the background. Okay? All right, so I'm going to draw for along with you. You go ahead and pause your video whenever you feel that you need to for whatever you are making. If you want to add your own details, just go ahead and pause as you're working whenever you feel like you need a pausing point. And I am drawing directly today with my Sharpie, just because I want you guys to be able to see pretty well on the screen. Okay, and when I draw with a pencil, sometimes it doesn't show up that well. I suggest that you draw with a pencil first. If you want to outline with a marker, you can, but drawing with a pencil first in case you want to erase anything. If I make a mistake today, I'm just gonna work it into the drawing, okay? The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the square for the house. And I'm not gonna draw that right at the bottom of my paper, okay? I'm gonna draw it up a little bit. I'm going to start by making a square. Okay, so this is going to be the main part of the house. I'm going to give this house a triangle roof. Roofs, okay, this little bit of architecture. A roof always has a little bit of an overhang on the edge of the building, right? So the rain and everything that's hitting the roof is just falling off down to the ground. So it always hangs over a little bit. So I'm going to make a little line on each side, just a short one. And then I'm going to make a triangle for my roof. Okay, now we have to figure out how we're going to get into this house. If the people are inside, how are they going to see out? Okay, so we need to add a door. I'm going to add a door right in the middle using a rectangle. You can draw a rounded door if you want to, or a different shape. You can do more of an organic shape, whatever interesting design you want to do for your door. And your door might not be in the middle, okay? But I'm going to put my door right in the middle. So feel free to get creative with this, okay? Now, a door always needs to have a frame. If you look at your door at your house, you'll see it has a little bit of wood trim that goes around it, right? We need a frame so the door has something to connect to. Okay, it needs something to connect to. Now you can detail that door however you want. I'm going to give a little door handle. I'm going to make a little half semicircle. This is called a semicircle for my window, and that's going to have a frame on it too. Okay, and these are little dividers on the glass. All right, now when people are inside of this house, they want to be able to see out, right, and look at all the snow falling around this gingerbread house. So I'm going to make a rectangle from my window, and I'm going to make a smaller rectangle, a little bit smaller right inside. So I have a rectangle, right, which is a long stretched out square, with another rectangle inside. This, again, is the frame around the window. You can leave yours just like this, or you can divide it up. Some of us have divisions on our glass, right? And I'm going to make a matching one on this side. Now, I'm probably going a little bit faster than maybe you are. If you need to pause your video, go ahead. And then just come back and start again, okay? All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a walkway going up to the front of the house. So to add the walkway, things that are closer to us in a picture are generally a little bit bigger. So instead of making this walkway go straight with two straight lines, I'm putting them on a diagonal. These are diagonal lines. They're straight, but they're on a little bit of a diagonal. And they get wider as they get to the front of the picture. Because if I were going to walk up this walkway, I would start here at the front. So this is going to be a little bigger because it's closer to us. Okay? And you can decorate that if you want little candies. You could put candy on the walkway. Okay, you can decorate this however you like. Then you can add a little bit of decorations. Maybe you have another window above, or maybe this is if you are celebrating Christmas. Maybe you have some sort of wreath above your door. Okay, and I'm just making that with a circle, a basic circle with a circle inside. Okay, and on this one I did a heart. You can use any kind of shape you want. This doesn't have to be a Christmas theme, it could be a candy theme. Okay, and then you can decorate the rest of this house. If you are going to do it more of a Christmas theme, you could add candy canes. And these are just some straight lines with a curve at the end. Okay, now I'm going to use those scallop lines that we talked about, which is when a line comes down, it's almost like you're making the letter U over and over and over, making all these U's, okay, to add some little frosting, or these could be little icicles. You can make them into icicles. And I'm going to make some U's, the letter U, over and over and over, all these U's to make the frosting. Okay, now we're going to add in the line where the sky and the ground come together. So everything above this line is the sky, and everything below this line is the ground. So we've talked about that before. I bet you remember the name. This is called the horizon line. Now you can make your horizon line straight. You could make it with some bigger hills than I have. It's up to you how you want to design it. I'm just going to continue on and make a little bit of a hill. Now this isn't going to start right here at the bottom of the house, okay? Because we're showing that that horizon line, that ground line, is back here behind the house. I'm going to start up a little bit, okay? And then I'm just going to move my hand across them about the same spot. And I'm going to make the rest of the hills over here. Now you can add anything that you want into your background. to be creative and decorate. I added some lollipop trees, which is a circle. You can see those here, which is a circle with 2 lines coming down to make a rectangle. Okay, and another one here, a circle, and these 2 lines come straight down to make a rectangle for the trunk. Okay, and then I'm going to add another one that comes up kind of right next to this one. That one came out a little bit smaller. Okay, now you can add other details that you want to. You could add a snowman, you could add a fence in the front yard, you could add in some more candy, you could add little boxes for presents. Maybe there's some presents sitting in the yard, right? Which you can make with just a square. You can make these as a square, and I'm adding a little rectangle there for a bow. Okay, now the last thing I want you to think about is your sky. In the sky, you could put a sun, you could put a rainbow. I'm going to use those organic shapes we find in nature, to make some clouds. Okay, now your next step is going to be to color that, and you can do that on your own. I'd love for you to send me a picture of your awesome basic shape gingerbread house, and you can use crayons or colored pencils. Crayons will work really well for coloring things that are large. So you may be coloring the sky, which is a really big area. This is blue, it looks a little gray on the screen, I know. So it's a little easier to do that with a crayon because the color is faster. If you want to use a colored pencil, you can use that to color in some of the finer details because you can get them a little bit sharper and they're a little bit easier to color in with. So if you want to use, and I'm choosing all these colors that I see are not showing up real bright on the screen, but they are pretty bright colored pencils. A little brighter. Okay, colored pencils work really well for coloring in, but use whatever coloring materials you have at home. Okay, and when you're finished, you can send me a picture. You can color in your house. You could even leave your picture all black and white. It's up to you how you want to finish this up. And so I hope you have fun creating your shape gingerbread house. And I hope you have a productive day of learning at home, and I will see you all soon. Bye.